Good morning. Happy Friday. It's James from Pipe Doctor Home Services. Instead of looking at me, I'll let you guys look at the road today. I've never tried having the camera oriented this way. But I got a video for you guys from yesterday of a system, our most favorite manufacturer, having some issues. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Before that, though, I have a little special clip for you guys to watch from this morning. So check it out. I was going through my garage cleaning stuff up. I found something and I was like, you know what? Gio needs an upgrade because he's an up and coming technician apprentice. We're always beating up on him, and I feel like I should pass this down to him because I've had this for like 14 years. So this Milwaukee bag, this backpack I've had literally since I started plumbing. I carried this on the subway in Manhattan. I want to give it to Gio, but he has to answer one question, and it's going to be a plumbing related question. All right? So he's done a lot of plumbing with me. So let's think. Let's think of a good one that's not going to be overly crazy. I'm trying to think of what I've taken Gio on, what he's come with me on. All right, how about this? Name one component inside of a toilet.
Inside of a toilet?
Yes.
Come
on.
What is that called?
Gio.
Damn.
The sad part is there's a million of them on the shelf too.
I'm not gonna look though.
No, you can't look. No, that's cheating. Come on, Gio.
Damn, what is that called?
There's multiple components.
I know, but there's just one specific one that I was always remember. I was just thinking about it yesterday too. That's the crazy part.
I'm upset.
Oh my God.
We did a job like 2 or 3 weeks ago where we rebuilt 3 toilets in one house, and
what is that called? Oh my gosh.
he watched every single toilet.
Can I get a different question?
Okay. All right. You could have picked flapper, fill valve, flush valve.
It was. I know it was something valve.
What's a component that we see leaking a lot on water heaters?
The pressure relief valve.
Yes. Okay. TMP relief valve. All right. Fair enough. I've had this. My brother bought me this bag when I started in the city, and it's been sitting in my garage because I have no use for it. So Gio, your mission, either before you leave or when you get back from your little trip, is to take that silly duffel bag you have full of tools and organize and make yourself a nice tool bag. All right, Gio? Okay, so we got our favorite brand of tankless combi here. The reason I'm out here today is because the hot water is practically trickling. Nothing's coming out. Well, not nothing's coming out, but you could see we have reduced pressure throughout the whole house. The unit kicks on for a couple seconds. You saw the indication here, and then it just shut itself back off. So we have not been out to this house to service this unit in about 4 years. We're located in Baldwin, which there is some pretty bad mineral deposits in the water on the South Shore here. So I figured, you know, I've recorded and done this already a bunch of times on my channel, but I want to see, will we kill 2 birds with 1 stone with doing a maintenance on this system, since it has not been flushed and serviced in a long time. Will doing a maintenance and flushing out this heat exchanger restore the pressure and get the unit to actually stay on, or are we having an issue with a flow switch and we got to contact, you know, technical support for that to test and diagnose that? But I figured might as well just do the maintenance anyway, because there's no harm in that since it hasn't been done. You know, we'll clean up the filters, take a look at everything, see what's going on. I normally don't like removing this filter here, but I actually do want to take it out and see what it looks like. So we're going to do that real quick. This is the reason why I don't like taking these things out, because they get stuck and sometimes they break off inside. I'm hoping it's not the case here. It is giving me some resistance though. Like the filter is loose, the threads are loose, but the filter itself is not coming out. Which I knew this is exactly what was gonna happen. Oh, didn't twist up too badly. You could see though. You could see how it was like rotated like that. So we're gonna just rinse this off. It's not overly bad. It does have some sediment and stuff in there. See how that can be very sketchy, and I just don't like doing it. Okay, so let's give this a rinse, and then we'll hook up our flush with some plumber's grease, just to help give me a little bit of lubrication when tightening this, so that nothing snaps off as I screw it back in. Almost 5 minutes to get that filter screen back in. It's ridiculous. Such a horrible design. Okay, let's put some water in here. We're filling through the cold back into my pump so that this way the line is pre-charged with water. Another thing I want to take a look at too. That seems like that's our problem. Is that filter right there. Because the pressure is like non-existent. So I wonder if they have replacement filters for that. It's a GE. Yeah. We can put this into bypass too. Yeah, because look, right, we have almost 60 pounds on the inlet side, and then just about 5 pounds. So this is likely what our issue is. We're still doing the right thing with the service here, but that seems to be what our problem is that we have, which makes total sense. What the hell is this thing? Okay. I'll play around and look at the color of the water right away. So yeah, Mike always says an observant technician, or a good technician is observant of their surroundings. I should have picked up on that. But either way, we're not really doing a disservice by doing what we're doing today. It's good that this unit gets looked at. As you can see here, the main PCB board is starting to turn amber in color. I just replaced one of these yesterday for a different client. And you can also see the air intake filter looks all gunky, and the condensate media hasn't been replaced in 4 years. So either way, we're doing the right thing. I should have picked up on that earlier, but if they don't have a filter replacement, even if I could just get that, see if it has a bypass mode. If not, we'll have a conversation about what they'd want to do with it. So let's see. So you want to change these every 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Because this acts like a coffee filter, right?
Okay, yeah.
It's just removing like all the minerals. That's why it goes from this to that.
Okay.
Right? And what happens is it gets clogged.
Okay.
And then you start losing pressure.
Oh, okay.
So, and you could see that this is the color of the water coming out of the tank right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Between changing this filter and the service I'm doing right now,
yeah,
I can almost guarantee that we'll be back to normal.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right.
Yeah, because we've been bathing in cold water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the weather was fine.
Well, it was good weather to be taking a cold shower, of course. Yeah, I would say try to have us come every year.
Okay.
We have maintenance plans where you could pay monthly for this.
Okay.
But if that seems like it's too much and she'd rather just pay one time a year, that's fine too.
Okay.
But just try to make sure we come once a year, because there's things that have to be done. It's like a car. You need your oil changed,
of course,
right? So the more we could stay on top of it, the longer we can get out of this unit.
And to change the filter, is it something that we can do? Or?
You kind of just makes a little bit of a mess.
Okay.
You have to turn the handle on top, unscrew it. So, I mean, if you want to have us back every 6 months to do it, whatever way you want to.
Okay, that's fine.
Alrighty?
That's okay.
Perfect.
Let me know if anything.
Thank you, I appreciate
it. I might be on meetings.
Okay.
but just, you know, pop
Yeah,
up.
I'll wave
and
to you.
I'll-
Yeah. No worries. Thanks, Tony. All right, so let's get this puppy swapped out. I tried flushing this out. I don't really want to play with it because I don't want to break this seal here. And it doesn't seem like I have anything replacement for here. It seems like a pre-filter, but if we don't have that, yeah, we'll see what we can do. I don't know. I have been saying now for years that these sump filters or cartridge filters, whatever you want to call them, should have a little drain port, something like this, on the bottom, so that instead of unscrewing it and getting all of this water all over the place, let me empty this bucket out, you could just pop open that little drain port and call it a day. So what I did was, that handle on top there, the white handle, I rotated it. It was in line, parallel to the pipe. Now it's perpendicular. And then I pressed this button here, and that's to bleed or release the pressure so that you can loosen the housing assembly. Because if you don't relieve the pressure, this thing is going to be impossible to turn. All right, let's just send it. I got stuff to do. Here we go, baby. Nice. Okay. Look at that. Long Island water. Do not lose that gasket. This goes with this one. Let's wipe this down. We'll get that new one in. And that right there is gonna address our flow issues. And that is also going to help address the flow issues and the efficiency. I've never seen doing a flush like this, seeing it so brown. I can almost guarantee that this filter hasn't been replaced since we've been here. So we'll get this new one on. Even still trying to just wipe out the inside of it. It's on there really good. Okay, clean this up as best as I could. Now let's keep our fingers crossed that this bleeder, this pressure relief button, closes, and that the O-ring for this cartridge assembly didn't get pinched. Obviously, we know this gauge failed because it was sitting at 10 pounds with the filter assembly off. Okay, you can see the gauge is climbing back up to pressure. And we're good. So if that's reading 65, realistically it's 55. No leaks, no drips. This seems to be holding. Okay, so that right there. So like, there's a key here for this one. But the issue is that there's no valve to shut this, so I'd have to shut the whole house off. I opened this up before to bleed it, to see if anything came out. Do that again. Doesn't look dirty or anything. Okay. We're still flushing over here. You can see how dark that's getting is insane. Say cheese. Say cheese. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna let that keep going, and we will clean our air intake filter and then do our neutralizer. And you can see that's pretty bad. Now, if I recall correctly, Navian says, or the manufacturer says, not to use water, to use a toothbrush and lightly brush it out, which I don't understand. It's a metal screen. Yeah, look at all the stuff coming off of this. If you use water to clean it, just dry it thoroughly and you should be fine. Alright. You know, usually these are terminated at the side of the house. So you get landscapers that come in and do their weed whacking and leaf blowing, and if the unit's running while they're doing that, the unit's just going to be sucking in all that stuff, which, you know, we saw that. So that's good. Now this unit can breathe more properly. So this screw is always a pain. Okay, so that's back on. So then the next thing, come on. You know, I don't like when things don't cooperate. There we go. Right? No. What the hell? You know, you're grounded. It's such a dad thing for me to say. Gio and Daniel call me dad because amongst the three of us, I'm an actual dad, and I always say dad things to them, like, be careful, watch your step, don't hurt yourself. So, like, I'm just naturally dad. This is really annoying. Alright. Didn't put the handle. Pushing it from the back. I got the horses in the back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yum 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 yum. Okay. Cheese. That hasn't been changed in a while. Sheesh. Now, I don't have these pebbles like this, but I do have neutralizer media, which is the rocks with the dust. So that'll work fine. As long as you stay on top of replacing this annually, got nothing to worry about. So what we'll do is we will give this a nice, good rinsing. Try to clean it up as best as I can, and then we'll put the new media in it. I need a better cup for this. I'm gonna do it by hand. Now you don't need to fill these things up to the brim. You want to overfill them. Also, with this type of condensate neutralizer pump, you have to be below the height of the walls so that you can slide it back in. So we got that part in, and then let's add the dust. Nice. Okay, tuck you back in there. Get in your home. Go! You go there. Give you a little shaky poo. Nice little, yeah. See? Look at that. Perfect. And then as the condensate drops into here, it soaks this tray. This gray wall is our separation wall, and then it fills up, overflows through these holes. Very simple. Very simple process. Alright, let's put this back in. Insane. I've never seen it like this. I've never seen it this brown. I can't even see if all the solution dissolved, so I'm just trying to mix it up. A lot of clients get grossed out when they see stuff like that because, you know, they automatically assume that it's like fecal matter and it's not. Wow. I thought this was the power cord for a second, but this is actually, you know what I might do? I might pour some vinegar into here just so that when I test this afterwards, we can flush some vinegar through this line and make sure that this line clears itself out. So let me do that real quick because I don't want to touch this. This looks like it might have already been a problem and it sealed itself up. So at least with pouring the vinegar in there, that should help clear everything out afterwards. Perfect. We'll leave the cap off for now. The last thing I want to take apart is the condensate trap on the unit, which that's always tough if you don't have like a small cup. Usually makes a mess, but it is what it is. Just pull the clip out, place that to the side so you don't lose it, and then pop it down into there like that. You could see that needed to be done as well. So let's just, if you don't do this, the condensate drain starts to get plugged up and the trap can fill up, which could cause the unit to shut down if it floods itself out. Okay, so that's good. Let's put this back over here. Take our clip, slide the clip back into the two holes, and that completes all the filters. Plus extra, because like I said, I normally don't do the cold water inlet one, just because it can break. It seemed to go in all right, but how long it'll hold up for, we'll find out. Okay, so that takes care of all of that. We're gonna shut our flush off. And I really wanted to open that up, but I don't want to play with it because if that goes south, there's nothing else I could do other than remove it entirely, and that's gonna be a whole lot of extra money. So for the time being, we'll leave it. It seemed like once I replaced that, the pressure did restore itself pretty well. And we could actually take a look at that right now. So just give me one shut off. I have the cold water service valve, flush valve shut. Still have the hot water one open, but the isolation valve is closed. We're going to open the isolation valve on the cold side to push water, fresh water through. And let's take a look if I do full blast. Oh yeah. Night and day difference. That's crazy. All right, we'll empty this out and we'll do a couple more buckets before we restore the hot water to the house. Condensate pump is running. I spilled some water. But poured it into, pretty much pre-soaked the media. So now it's already nice and soaked. And the tray is full. And also tested the operation and flushed, helped get some of that vinegar to flush through the line. So hopefully over the next couple of cycles, that will get everything cleared up. I've been running the sink now down here for a couple minutes. I did about 3 buckets of fresh water flushed through the heat exchanger. Took the hoses off, put the cover caps back on our hot and cold. Our TMP relief valve is missing a drip leg on it. The heating side one has one, that one doesn't. We'll make note of that. We're gonna let the unit cycle on. And then we're gonna wait for the call for domestic hot water. which should be kicking on very shortly. You can see our call for hot water. Ramping up the temperature. It's actually staying on now, where before it only kicked on for a couple seconds and then shut itself back off. See, we're about 129 degrees, 133. That's kind of high. Let's see what it looks like coming from the faucet. Let's take a peek at this. Let's see. It says 138 at the unit. Ideally looking for 120. Some people like their water very hot though. So if this is the way it's been set, yeah, we're around 122. And we got to factor in that this is the closest fixture to the appliance, so we are going to have a temperature loss traveling to like the kitchen sink, upstairs bathroom, stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with where that range is at. So the last thing we're going to do is put this stuff away, go grab our combustion analyzer and our smoke detector, not smoke detector, gas leak detector, because these are notorious for gas leaks. And the one I looked at yesterday had a gas leak, so we'll test that out. My top tees, it's a PT520B plus gas leak detector. Come on. So I'm outside the boiler room, just giving that 30 seconds to start up. I did smell a little bit of gas coming from the unit, similar to the one yesterday. So this is the thing, is that this manufacturer's unit is known to have leaks. Gas leaks like this are obviously dangerous. The unit is enclosed, so when the cover is on, it's fully sealed, so you don't smell any of that natural gas if you're the homeowner or the occupant in the area. But obviously it's a dangerous issue, and unfortunately we are not in a red tag state, so I can't lock and shut the unit off. The only thing I could do is document my findings, make recommendations. So we're going to turn hot water on to get the unit to kick on. Yesterday, the gas was leaking right here. So let's see. That seems like the notorious spot. Yep. Follow our gas line, go down to our gas valve. Nothing over here. It's always right up here. This is like the magic spot. Seems to have gone down. But you could smell it. Yep, there we are climbing again. So it's like this seal right here, where the blower fan connects to the top of the heat exchanger. Seems like the magic spot. Okay, let's shut this off, and we'll do our combustion analysis next. Okay. Get this printed. Let's shut this off because I don't want to keep running it with the lid, with the cover off. So a couple things of note that'll be written down on my invoice from today are the internal gas leak inside the unit, the combustible gases or exhaust gases. Let that purge, rinse itself, coming from the unit. Obviously indicated by the amber color of the main PCB control board. So there's a couple different things here that should be addressed with this unit. At the end of the day, my main recommendation is going to be throw it out and get a new one, and not a new one of these, a new manufacturer's entirely, preferably an Alta. But some people want to just let things run until they die, fix them along the way. I mean, if we can continue to come back and at least do an annual maintenance on it for them and just keep them up and running, that's fine. The best we could do as service technicians is advise, make recommendations, and leave the decision up to the homeowner. Yeah, this one's from 21. The one behind it, I think, was from 22. So, all right. We'll go test the water upstairs. And we solved our problem. All right, we're back to me. Yeah, I'm not happy that I missed that filter. You know, I should have picked up on that from the very beginning. But either way, from what you saw with how dirty that water was from doing the chemical flush on the heat exchanger, that needed to be done. So I don't feel overly bad, like I did something that shouldn't have been done, or the customer spent money unnecessarily. At the end of the day, I still got them a full service, and you know, we addressed everything all at once. Either way, I would have figured out that filter was the problem because it was restricting our water flow to the unit. I just wish I had picked up on it earlier, but it is what it is. So, hope you guys enjoy your Fridays and your Memorial Day weekend. It's supposed to be crappy here in New York with the weather, so whatever. But thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. We have a goal of 1,000 subs and beyond, but our immediate goal is 1,000 subs. And also hit me up at my email, PlumbGuyNY@gmail.com, if you want a free sticker. No charge, cost, obligation, anything like that. Just send me your name, your address, all that fun stuff. So enjoy your weekend, be safe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you.